Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You are watching Nub's Collection, a YouTube series dedicated to the cataloging and review of every game in my physical media collection. As always, I am your host, Victory Nub, and today we are looking at Super Godzilla, developed by Advanced Communication Company, published by Toho, and released in the US in July of 1994, a few months shy of the 40th anniversary of the original film. Toho, of course, is the studio behind the development of the Godzilla series of films, or at least those not licensed to American studios. Toho is also the studio that initially hired the famed director Akira Kurosawa, who developed the majority of his films while working for Toho. Kurosawa's most acclaimed film, Seven Samurai, released in Japan in April of 1954, just 6 months prior to Godzilla. Godzilla, specifically the first film, was created as an allegory of not only the international anxiety over nuclear weapons proliferation in the 1950s, but the uniquely Japanese perspective of their use, being the only country to this day upon which a nuclear weapon has been used. A specific scene in the first film in which a Japanese fishing vessel is attacked, leaving only a single survivor, was a pointed reference to the fate of the fishing vessel Lucky Dragon No. 5, which was showered in particulates of radioactive coral and other fallout from the hydrogen bomb test Castle Bravo conducted at the nearby Bikini Atoll. The initial release of the film to the American public saw several extensive cuts and reshoots to sanitize the more heavy-handed criticisms of international balance of power and nuclear proliferation. Future films in the franchise would also take on a more relaxed tone, making Godzilla less antagonistic towards humans and more focused on battling other giant monsters. Fun fact about Godzilla's actual screen time: the actual on-screen appearance time for Godzilla in the first film is 8 minutes and 44 seconds, accounting for only 9% of the film's total runtime. For comparison's sake, the titular shark in Jaws only appears on screen for a total of 4 minutes, roughly 3% of the film's runtime. Advanced Communication Company, the developer behind today's game, does not have a deep roster of developed titles. Their most recognizable games were ports for the Ys series of games, that's YS, or Ys, basically. They were released on the NES, SNES, and TurboGrafx-16. Super Godzilla is the most recent game I could confirm to have been developed by the studio, so this may very well have been their final game. Sad to say. Super Godzilla is not a full retelling of any one film in the Godzilla series, but does contain elements of various films in the franchise, including the Super X craft that is helping guide the King of Monsters in this game, and the collection of villain monsters that we fight, including mecha-godzilla that we see here. We are going to do a story setup for this game, but I would like to point out something that I rarely get to acknowledge. The design of the instruction manual is a bit sparse, but made very cool use of the Godzilla model on many of its pages, using various images of the monster in kind of a monochromatic, high-contrast shot. It looks incredible, and I'll go ahead and put some of the shots up on the screen. Anyway, the story section is simply titled Super Godzilla Story, to you who holds the controller in your hands. Thank you for coming. The entire fate of Japan may be riding on the Super X you have boarded. I think you know that King Ghidorah suddenly appeared in Osaka. Actually, even before that, we at the Self-Defense Agency suddenly received communications from an unknown source. It is said that it would destroy all of Japan with monsters. It said, excuse me. The conventional self-defense forces we advanced as emergency resistance to King Ghidorah, who appeared right after that declaration of war, were completely unable to stop him. We have already received notices of entire units being wiped out. We still do not know exactly who or what sent that message, but if we don't do something, Osaka will be completely destroyed. This leaves us with only one option: Godzilla. Right, that Godzilla. You know the famed Professor Ogata, don't you? You know the famed... Sorry. I am Ron Burgundy in real life. Sometimes I read this stuff without the actual emphasis in the right spots, and it just comes across really weird. You know the famed Professor Ogata, don't you? Our strategy is to shoot the biocontrol box developed by Professor Ogata, I'm starting to struggle now, into Godzilla to control Godzilla directly. The controller for that control box is mounted to the Super X that you are flying. The question is, how far can we control that fearsome, ferocious Godzilla, who has huge fighting spirit? This is where you come in. Your task is to control the awakened Godzilla. Fly immediately to Osaka and fly the Super X constantly over the controllable area to control Godzilla so that he will drive back the enemy monsters. We are counting on you. Flying with you will be the Airman Taniguchi. He will not only fly the Super X, but will give you detailed reports. Also, Miss Yano from the Godzilla Institute will give you information about Godzilla. In any case, the first target is King Ghidorah in Osaka. You have your orders. End of communication. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I don't know how much of that was covered in the preview demo video that was playing there. I will say this plays very strange for a video game. It's kind of a hybrid, like a strategy game, but not quite. Kind of an action game, but not quite. It tries to blend a lot of aspects, and I don't know if it does it very well. Godzilla, stand by, okay? We are bringing him onto land at Osaka. The rest is all up to you. Use your best technique to control Godzilla. Various enemies are lurking in the city. Move carefully. If you move Godzilla crashing through buildings, it injures him. That's why we've prepared points for energy resupply and other points in the city. Collect these items and head for the monster. Good luck. This is the layout of the battle zone. So there are 4 grids that you move through in Osaka trying to get to the enemy. So, first thing to note, there's that beautiful big boy Godzilla, the blue dot everyone remembers him as. The game does have a strategy game kind of layout for the main grid. Then you see the action that's taking place in the top half of the screen there. One of the weird things about this game is you spend most of your time trying to get to the monster and very little time actually fighting him. They do want you not to destroy buildings in this game and instead pick up objects like the yellow and blue squares on the screen. The yellow squares usually contain either a warp, just like what happened here, but also occasionally they have resources that you can use in battle. Weird little nuclei appearing objects that he can pick up and use in combat, like this. You've picked up the defense increase item. If you use it during a battle for a while, Godzilla is not hurt, even if he is attacked. And the blue boxes, and we'll go ahead and pick up the one right here, are actually energy resupply points that he uses to get energy back. We are giving energy to Godzilla. Important note, and they have been weird about this throughout the existence of Godzilla. Godzilla is not actually, in the original version of the character, a gendered monster. Godzilla just is an it in most of the movies. In Americanized versions of the films, Godzilla is treated as a male character, and I think even the most recent films that have come out have always referred to Godzilla as he. However, there is absolutely no version of the Japanese version of the monster that was ever referred to as anything other than it, as far as I recall. So you'll apologize for my bastard American version of Godzilla, but I do think of Godzilla as a he. I mean, even the 2000 movie, the one that Fox did, technically refers to Godzilla as he, even though he gives, or lays eggs. I was about to say gives birth, but he doesn't give birth, he lays eggs. Alright, so let's go back to the east, because the east, you can see a little counter in the bottom right corner of the screen there. Oops, I just damaged building. They actually don't want you to do that because the fewer buildings you damage, the less you lose points. There's like a score in this game. I don't know why they decided to put one in there, but basically as you're playing, you get points for destroying enemy craft, picking up items, and then doing a good job fighting the monsters. If you destroy buildings, you lose points. And there is Ghidorah, the purple dot. We're going to grab this item all the way over here. Now moving around the Sutenkaku building. I think I said that right. The super energy refill item. If you use it during a battle, Godzilla's energy is completely refilled. Fun little note here, they did change the music just now. They have been featuring strains of the original Godzilla theme song in the game up to this point, but the major part that I think most people recognize is playing right now. Of course, because this is... Uh-oh, turn around. Turn around! We're gonna go and face him directly. Right here. Oh. Control this right. Okay. Down. There we go. Turn right. We're gonna fight Ghidorah! Alright, so I'm gonna stop for a second here and not advance the dialogue. The action part of this game is extremely strange. Basically, the way it works is you have a momentum bar that'll appear at the bottom of the screen, and the momentum swings back and forth based on how far forward you move before you attack the monster versus the enemy's momentum bar, which just seems to grow on various different patterns. And I think it's different for each monster, but in the case of Godzilla, you move him forward towards the enemy, and the longer you go without connecting a hit, the higher the bar goes. Once you do actually make connection with Godzilla, you actually are supposed to retreat. You walk backwards, and then a list of rotating cards pop up on the screen telling you what attack Godzilla is going to use. If you have a really low amount of momentum when you hit the enemy, it'll usually give you one of the weaker attacks like a punch or a kick or a headbutt. I think a tail swipe is one of them as well. If you have a huge amount of momentum, you actually do one of the atomic breath attacks that Godzilla has at his disposal. There is a system in place late in the game, we probably won't play long enough to see this, where you can pick up various items spread throughout the game map, and it'll transform Godzilla into Super Godzilla, quotey fingers, and it basically gives him far more damaging attacks, including the atomic breath attack, which I think goes from the normal blue to kind of a fiery red attack, but it's been a while since I've played. I can't remember. Sorry, I need a little refreshment there. That's strange. King Ghidorah should be at this point. I'm sorry, I see 3 dots, I have to go, Okay, listen, Godzilla and the enemy monsters both have ferocious fighting spirit. The stronger it is, the more the enemy attacks, and the more destructive the techniques Godzilla can attack with. Each of the enemies has its own rhythm, and the instinctive bar rises and falls with a certain pattern. So that's kind of what I was talking about. The way that the enemy's bar works is it has to be completely full before they'll do an attack, and they do rotate through a series of different attack moves as well. Aim for the low point in the enemy's fighting spirit, then move Godzilla in. Slip in close while holding down the enemy's fighting spirit as much as possible, then punch. This opens up Godzilla's attack window, then pull him back quickly. The farther back you go, the more Godzilla's energy builds up, and the more powerful technique he can mount. Alright, so here we go. Oh, I missed! And he's gonna do an attack. Zip zap, zip zap. Owie! Oh, that was a big hit, too. Alright, come on. Get in there. Uh-oh. If you don't watch out, the enemy will shoot his light rays, too. Okay, thanks. Oh. And back up. Tail swipe. Not exactly the most dramatic action ever, but I mean, they do try to animate the background. I think that the key to winning early on is just get in a lot of quick attacks. Don't worry about getting the big hit because it's not guaranteed to actually help you beat the enemy any faster. Now that said, if you can control their momentum bar pretty well, you don't have to worry about them getting any counterattacks. That's why it's good to just do a quick rushing attack. Don't worry about getting the big breath move. Also, if you want to use items, you use the shoulder buttons. So like we have the health item, we won't use that right away, or the defense item. There was also an attack one somewhere on the map here. The defense item, like they said, I think while you're using it, you either take reduced damage or no damage at all. We'll go ahead and pop that now because there's no reason not to. Oh! Yeah, if you get too close, the enemy just kind of pokes you, which sucks. But we are getting a ton of momentum. Fire attack! There we go. Big hit. It's gonna hit hard because we had a huge bar there. Owie! God, stop poking me. Get right in the face. Oh, look at that. Look at the charge up. He tried to block it. I don't know if that actually does anything. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he still took the same damage. Uh-oh, he's got an attack off. 3 beams, big damage. Yeah, so it does still damage you. I hope that means it did reduce damage, but he might have also been holding back. We'll probably wait until the end of the fight to use the healing item, because I think it is a full restore, the one that I picked up. They do have lesser restoring items. Now, I do think we talked about this during the Rental Regrets episode I did for Godzilla Monster of Monsters. One of my favorite toys of all time was, in fact, a Godzilla figure. The thing was about a foot and a half, 2 feet tall, and made of the hardest plastic known to man. I mean, that thing was basically, oh, finishing attack. About as unsafe for kids as humanly possible. It would make an incredible bludgeoning tool because no one on Earth would be able to figure out what caused the damage to a person. Nice. We cut off one of the heads. But I used to love that thing. It was easily my favorite toy because I was a big fan of Godzilla as a kid. Ha-ha! He looks like he's like fighting a grin back. Again, we stepped on one building by accident, so we lost 10 points. We did get a bonus, and I think the bonus may have to do with tanks that you step on. It may also be items. I'm not 100% on that one. This is not the longest game in the world. I think there are in total maybe 5 levels, but the maps get progressively bigger and more complex, so you do have a little more strategy involved as you play through future levels of the game. Also, I don't know if Godzilla's health ever goes up. At least not until he becomes Super Godzilla. What's that? Oh, what's that UFO? They're bringing King Ghidorah along. Could that mean that... Oh? It's an alien. You controlled Godzilla to fight against King Ghidorah. You Earthlings are tougher than we thought. You are the ones who used King Ghidorah to destroy the city. Our battle to conquer Earth has just begun. Our first targets are Japan and Godzilla. Send one monster after another at him. Watch this! Watch this, and then he runs away. Are they aliens? How many monsters can they be controlling? Yes, I think the weird purple fleshy monster thing was an alien. We can't let our guard down. We never know when or where the enemy will appear. I'll study the remaining King Ghidorah head. Maybe I can find something of some use. That is a story-tied bit. That is how you transform into Super Godzilla. A message just came in from the Self-Defense Forces. The enemy has attacked the base at the foot of Mount Fuji. If that base is wiped out, the damage to us will be immeasurable. Send Godzilla right over there. The attacking monster is... Godzilla? Godzilla? That's impossible. Don't we have Godzilla here? In any case, the monster is in Area 1B. Rush over there. I don't remember there being letters on these. They're not. Alright, whatever. Uh-oh! Oh, there are mines. I forgot. Up, 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 up. Turn, turn. Uh-oh. Story segment. Somehow the enemy doesn't seem to be just the monsters. Attack with fire breath attack. Key up! Fire breath. You're done. Yeah, you can't run from me. I don't know if the attack would have been anywhere near as exciting if it just went... Fun fact, I learned about the game, or I guess not the game necessarily, but the character of Godzilla while I was studying up on the facts for today. The official comic book version of the roar that Godzilla calls out, or roars, whatever, is described as SKREEEE-ONNNK. So it's literally SKREEEE-ONNNNNK. The enemy monster is in Area 2A. I think that means you changed screens. All right, turn. Uh-oh. I damaged a mountain. They're going to be so mad at me. Uh-oh. Tanks are firing. Oh, maybe that thing back there was a tank. Yeah, that's what it was. All right. Easy, 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 easy. Come on, stop it. I will destroy you. Another UFO. Come get it. It's over. I remember this is a game that my mother got for me, I want to say because I had one semester in high school where I did really well. It might have been like an all A's semester. And she got the game. When I first started playing it, I could not for the life of me figure out what to do in this game. Not to mention the fact that unlike Monsters, it seemed like there was very little actual action in this game. It was mostly just moving Godzilla around a map. So I didn't get it at first, and I kind of didn't like the game. I think once I figured out how the fighting worked, it started making more sense. You have picked up the stop time item. Starting now, the time counter will be stopped for a while. Not sure what that matters, but whatever. We'll get up here and destroy this tank. You jerk. The enemy monster warped. He's now in 2A. Not a lot of items in this one. Let's go get some health real quick. Good thing Japan is just loaded with nuclear reactors, apparently. Uh-oh. Another UFO attack. This is how they kind of break up the action. Instead of just being you fight monster, move to next area, they give you like an actual enemy to help damage. Oh! I didn't mean to do that. At least it doesn't take a ton of health off Godzilla. What is this? Oh, is this the mothership? I bet it is. Get down here, you coward! Now we gotta back up. Back up again. Come on. Fight me. I can't hit him while he's out. Why aren't you coming down? This sucks. I can't jump either. Well, the good news is moving back and forth is giving me juice. Ah, you jerk. Don't you move. Got him. And big shot. It's over. Well, maybe it's over. Wah, 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 wah. Nope, not over. Starting to remember that this may have something to do with the rest of the UFOs in the area. If I destroy this one, it might mean they go away. Oh, you jerk. No, you don't! Oh, yes, you do. Get. This may or may not do it. Probably not. I don't know if the number changes for how much damage you do. He's still alive. Move in for a second attack real quick. Oh. Oh, look at that fake out. Punch him. Oh, got the shot in. Nice. I like the little right before he belches out the breath. That's it, right? Maybe? Maybe not. The enemy shouldn't be able to warp now. There you go. Let's take him out now. I'm really worried about him warping to begin with, but whatever. Oh, let's go pick up this item. It's so close. You have picked up the energy refill item. If you use it during a battle, Godzilla's energy is refilled. You're not under any obligation to actually pick up any items while you're playing. You can just go straight to the monster, but you're better off picking them up. Okay, okay, I'm moving. I'm moving. Oh, we're getting close. You can always tell because you can hear the change in the music. Oh, we got some health back. Alright, let's go take on Godzilla. Whoa. There he is. The enemy monster. Okay, yeah, I got it. Give me real items. Don't keep taking things from me. Up. Over. Give me an attack up. Picked up the fighting spirit increase item. Nice. Use it during a battle. It becomes easier to raise Godzilla's fighting spirit. That is a very good item. Uh-oh. No. We gotta go towards the tank. Now moving around Mount Fuji. I want to be able to destroy Mount Fuji. I'm a monster. Well, no, I am. Literally, I'm a monster. Suck that juice. Godzilla's full-throating that tower. Alright, let's do it. How dare you pretend to be Godzilla? A battle between Godzilla and Godzilla? Oh. Ow! Big hit. Punch. Oh. One hit killed him. I'm the best. Or, that's not really Godzilla, it's mecha-godzilla. Oh, that's Mecha-Godzilla. The enemy was really Mecha-Godzilla. Weak fire breath attack will just bounce back at you because of Mecha-Godzilla's strong barrier. Okay. Punch! That might not work. Guess we'll find out in a second here. And let's see if they were right. Yep, he deflected it. So don't do breath attack, because he's just going to counter. With missiles that really fire. Fire! point, Godzilla. You got counterattacked. Uh-oh. I'm gonna guess that meant that mecha-godzilla got a wreck there. That just came out of nowhere. Punch. No. Yes. Alright, so we'll just beat him up, I guess. Ah! I love the full body headbutt attack. Very nice touch. Oh, laser beams. This may be the one time we actually retreat from a fight just to recover some health. Tail attack, that's good. Now, I said weak breath attacks. I don't know if that means if we get a full charge. Oh, come on! Quit dodging me. Oh, crap! I hit the button too quick. Damn your force field! He's gonna judo flip that and do a counterattack. Oh! He stole my move! Uh-oh. This is not going well. I think this is what they were talking about, the different attack patterns. They kind of intend for you to kind of charge up attacks a little bit in fights, not necessarily... Damn it. Alright, we're gonna use the health item real quick. Give me a little juice. Oh, stop it. This is not going well. I may have to just straight up retreat. I also want to start using my fighting spirit item, but of course I can't get a hit in, so it's not going to matter. In this way, the game feels a little bit unfair. Get him. No breath. Oh, come on! Alright, retreat, Godzilla. You need to go get some health, buddy. Can I... How do I do that? There we go. Get some health, go pick up some items. Hopefully they're not all just notifications that, hey, the enemy is in this square. I know, I can see him. He's right there. Ooh, not much. Hopefully we find one of the super health pickups that should still be on the map somewhere. Alright, good. Very, very good. There we go. That's a good item. Very, very good. You're the only one who can control Godzilla. No kidding, dummy. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's Mount Fuji. Oops. Sorry, guys. Defense item. Good. We want to do that, probably. Yeah, they gave me a time limit, but I have no idea what it's going to do as far as affecting my ability to fight the enemy. Alright, can I please score some hits on mecha-godzilla? Just a few. Maybe 1 or 2 hits. Oh, come on! I was a punch away. No. Yes. Hopefully this will be something other than a fire breath attack. Very good. Alright, let's use some items real quick. That's health. That's fighting spirit. That is defense. Let's do the defense right now. Yes. Get some meaty attacks in. Just... Oh, come on! We're on the offensive. We're getting some hits in. Not very damaging hits, but whatever. Get him. Boys getting some nice combos in there. Left to right. Tailspin. The TV show? Yeah, that was a good TV show. Oh, screw you. At least it didn't damage me. He's biding his time until the defense item wears off. It ain't gonna work. I got your number. Go, 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 go. Uh-oh! I don't like this. I'll go ahead and use a fighting spirit item right now, even though I'm about to get hit. I wish I had a dash move. And as soon as that finishes, big hit. Ugh. We're gonna use the health item to get full health right now. Oh, what a boost. Damn it! Momentum swing. He's getting all the hits in. Come on, I need a big hit here. Gotcha. Uh-oh. That was not a big hit. I just damaged myself again. Ah, it sucks. Come on, get in there and do something big. Real big. Yes! There is a difference. That is the stronger attack. This should work. It didn't work. Did it? It did! Hey, there we go. Uh-oh. Well, just lost my momentum. Kind of wish the system worked the same, where their ability to use attacks is dependent on a first, like an opening attack, like a punch or a kick or something. I don't like that they can do theirs just at any time. It's not fair. Nope, come on. Yes, I'll do it, whatever. It's gonna be a breath attack. No, that's a headbutt. No, it's a full body slam. Get him. Oh, I took a hit. He fired two big shots from his robo-penis at me. For lack of a better descriptor. Come on, be it. I know it's not going to be it, but I want it to be it. And it... Oh, 1 point! Got him. Just a sucker jab to the tummy. Or excuse me, it's SKREEEE-ONNNNNK! It really is. That is the onomatopoeia for it. SKREEEE-ONNNNK. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and stop here. There's not a ton left to look at as far as the game. There's only, I think, 5 levels. Once you do get to level 5, you do actually get the ability to turn into Super Godzilla. And again, I want to say it is tied directly to your ability to get more points in each level. I think once you hit a certain amount, that is when you get the ability to turn into Super Godzilla, but I'm not 100% on that. I might be wrong. Ultimately, we've seen the main meat of the story, which is move around the map, get into a fight with Godzilla or random aliens, and follow this weird combat system. We'll go ahead and wrap things up and do the review phase. Let's go ahead and do a round of the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is that it's a unique take on how fighting would work between two giant monsters. Because in the movies, the enemies always had special attacks that they would be able to do, and you would probably watch the movie and go, why is Godzilla just standing there and waiting for the hit to land? Why wouldn't Godzilla move out of the way or try to block the attack or something? And that was one of the trademarks, I think, of the movies, and they kind of got that right. The model for Godzilla in the action half of the screen and the top half is pretty good looking, honestly. I don't know how close it is to, say, the iconic version of the monster that you remember from the Toho films of the original, and then all the way through the 60s and into the 70s. It looks very detailed, at least in the game. The shots that you have, the action shots, they do tend to use some very inconsistent images of the monster. And I think that's because they used assets from still frames they had for the original film and some follow-up films as well. And occasionally they just had to hand draw the monster for other shots. So it's a little inconsistent in that regard. I do like that they found a way to work the original Godzilla theme into the game. They did have to find ways to loop it so that it can continue to play throughout the movement phase where you're going around the world map trying to find the monster you're fighting. I like that they give you items. It's a very strange idea, but, you know, Godzilla just fighting another monster would kind of be boring if there weren't a way to jazz it up a little bit, make strategy and more of a strategy in each fight. So having items for Godzilla to use is probably a very good idea and touch, as well as giving Godzilla nuclear plants to use to juice back up to get more health, because of course Godzilla famously eats radiation basically as a nutritious source for him. As far as the bad, the overworld map that you walk around on and the model for, you know, Godzilla or the monster are about as basic as they could possibly make them. It's blue dot versus purple dot moving around square grid with like little squares that are supposed to be tanks and the items that are yellow square and blue square. They put almost no effort into that. I don't get why there's a time limit at all. I would think that Godzilla has as much time as he needs to get to the monster and beat it up, because it doesn't actually seem to ever try to attack any kind of buildings or important structures or anything, really. It's just there and kind of walking in circles until you show up. So the time limit did not need to be there. The momentum meter, while a unique idea, the enemies seems to work in very strange manner, and I don't like the fact that they can just randomly do an attack, whereas Godzilla has to get in close, do an incredibly short-range punch, which I hate the fact that it's so short, then back up in order to do an attack. The enemy doesn't have to do that. All they got to do is wait until their bar goes up to full, and then they can do the attack from wherever. That kind of seemed unfair. You would hope that in a game where it's monster versus monster and you have a very rigid system for how you're supposed to do your attacks, the enemy would have to follow the same rules, and they don't, and that sucks. I get that in future films there had to be characters that were kind of the leads for the film because Godzilla wasn't necessarily the lead. It was just the force of nature that they were trying to guide towards whatever enemy that showed up against humanity, and Godzilla was going to help save humanity, whether it wanted to or not. I feel like they had way too many people here, and I don't know if they all needed to exist in the story. I feel like they could have had the captain and maybe the scientist. I don't know why the woman or the director guy here were necessary to the storyline. It just felt like they were trying to add a dramatic element, and they didn't really add anything. As far as the ugly, I think all the music that is not the Godzilla theme is pretty bland and generic and just not exciting in any way whatsoever, including the song that's playing right now. It may have come from a Godzilla movie, but honestly, it's not a song that anyone would really remember or love. It's just not that good. I also think that some of the moving action on screen, while they decided to go for a camera angle that's kind of looking up towards Godzilla as though you were a person watching Godzilla walk around, takes away a lot of detail for what's happening in the environment. They had an idea and they went for it. It's not good. Because basically it's just, hey, we're looking up at Godzilla's boogers the entire time he walks around the city. You know, there's not enough detail behind him. You're walking around a city, you might see the top corner of a building go by in the background, and that's it. Oh, you can see a little bit of a mountain. That was a bad idea. It should, if they wanted to do anything, have the shot change. You could do the up shot looking at him, but then have an overhead shot that's looking straight down on Godzilla walking forward through a city. Or an action shot kind of like on the side here, having Godzilla walk sideways through an area. Those would have made it more dynamic and more filmic. And I think that's what they were going for, was the feeling of Godzilla moving through wherever to get to a city like you would see in a film. But most of the films that they did, you know, Toho did, were focused on the action, you know, at a distance, where the camera is far enough back that you can see the full body of Godzilla and the little tiny buildings and the little tiny cars and, you know, the other big monster, and miniaturized assets to make Godzilla look huge. And you only get that when you're actually fighting against another monster. In the movement shots when he's moving around the city, they chose a bad angle for it, and you really can't get that sense of scale the way that they probably could have and should have if they had thought that part through. So yeah, I definitely would put that as an ugly. All right, let's go ahead and give the game a score. We do our score in Randars, 1 to 10. It's an interesting premise. Unfortunately, I think it's extremely limited as a result of that. Again, I think there's maybe 5 levels, 6 at most in the game, and you only fight Ghidorah, mecha-godzilla, who we just fought, Biolante. There's one other monster that I'm blanking on. Then you fight Ghidorah again, and one final monster, Bagon, something like that. For comparison's sake, Godzilla Monster of Monsters had something like 11 or 12 monsters you fought, and not only did you fight them the first time you found them, you fought them in every subsequent level that you played through in the game. And it's been a long time since I did the Rental Regrets episode, and I don't remember if I said I like that or dislike that, but frankly, more monsters is good. This game, far too few enemies, and I don't know. I would have liked more monsters, and the action in this game is limited to these weird combat sequences that you have to use a strategy involving punching and then running away. It was very strange. I'm going to give this game a 6. As far as Godzilla games are concerned, this would definitely not be at the top of my list of games that I would recommend people play, which is funny because I think I've played maybe 2 total, but I've seen clips of other games that have some other interesting mechanics to it. Monster of Monsters is still my favorite Godzilla game, easily. This one, distant second, and they went for an idea. I just don't think they landed it. 6 Randars, just okay. It would have been more exciting if the action felt like there was a little more agency and it wasn't just you bouncing into an enemy and then running away. Not great. Yeah. That's going to do it for this episode of Nubs Collection. As always, I do appreciate each of you watching, and I will see you next time.